One time for your mind, DJ George Chuck checking in on your Facebook, your YouTube, and your Twitch. Shout out to my Twitches out there. All my Twitches. In the words of iPod, the DJ, I need to share this mother. I don't know if y'all know that song yet, but it's great for social media. Share this mother. Share this mother. But in the meantime, in between time, we got to give a shout out to the official water. Nightcap Knowledge, Inspire Pura, refreshing taste, keeping it simple, available at Amazon.com. One time for that Don Dada Jerk magic, go to Bite That. LLC 504-258-0200. That's Wild Wayne, straight out to 504, baby. Let's go. Get that Don Jada, man. That jerk on your meat. One time for Jackson's Rage Room, Central Mississippi's original rage and relaxation room. You can check them out at rageroomjacksonmississippi.com for your chance to relax, relate, and release the rage. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a very special guest tonight. It is Matthew Thompson, the international soccer referee from Mississippi, straight out of Jacktown. You know what I'm talking about? Jacktown, baby. Represent Mississippi. Stand up. It's about that time for us to get into Nightcap Knowledge.
Say we started from the bottom, now we're here, yeah.
Sing it, Tonya. Sing it. Oh, yeah.
It's Nightcap.
So we started from the bottom, now we're here, yeah.
Shabba dabba tweak, 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 tweak. Hey, look at you looking like yourself.
Ooh,
There it is.
Yeah.
All right, we're taking donations. We're taking donations. You can go Cash App right now for that performance.
Dropping in the Cash App, you heard me?
Impromptu performance. The Lord gave her the gift, and she just had to let it shine. Yes, we like donations.
Yeah.
We take the kind that
like donations. We love donations.
Wait, the tambourine? You supposed to went tambourine on them. It just
they over there on the wall. I'm sitting on the other side of the room.
All right.
Hey, man, what you about to say? You say we'll take the kind that jingle, but we like the kind.
We like the kind of.
What is that for?
Hey, in this day and time, we'll take the digital. You know,
that too.
Take the digital.
Man, why is there is a man, look, these different churches that have gone e-commerce on their collection plates. No. Man, they're cracking down on them. Like there's a film out right now on, I think, on one of the churches that is like globally known because of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody, the separation of church and state is about the money.
About the money.
What?
The government won't talk about that money.
We're gonna have to do a show about that.
Government say by any means necessary. Give them.
That's gonna be a 3-hour show. We're gonna need to
3.
Not going anywhere for a while.
Why wait?
It's gonna take us just 3 hours just to get through the introduction. I'm gonna go to my seat, but before I go to my seat, I'm gonna say this. And then
take your glasses off, Tonya. You gotta take your glasses off as you say it and go back to the
glasses. I'm about to take my seat off.
Y'all ain't shit. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, in case y'all don't know, this is the show is called Nightcap. Knowledge is rated black and uncensored. Real talk, real issues, real solutions. Share this live. We got some great things going on, some great guests. And we're gonna talk about some great things. Right, we're gonna highlight a brother that give him his flowers while he's here as he continues his history, representing us very well. Straight out of Mississippi, straight out the Jack. He continued to carry Mississippi on his back everywhere he goes. Oh, see, there you go. There you go. Yep, your feet got hot because hell is on the way. But anyway, we're going to keep this thing going.
Yeah.
And CJ, we got brother CJ. What? Who? Chuck? Both of y'all. Y'all PKs?
What, man?
Y'all PKs don't do right.
What?
Don't do right.
I got a drum right here.
Oh,
let me take the drum out.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Look.
Hey, and then we're gonna get on a serious topic, talking about what's going on with the water crisis here in Jackson, Mississippi, and surrounding areas. So, DJ George Chuck,
what's happening, man?
I'd like to introduce our esteemed guest because this brother is literally traveling in the midst of traveling. And Tonya, is that your hang, Tonya?
That is.
I was drinking water that wasn't sponsored by the show.
Oh.
So I ain't want to be rude and disrespectful because I'm still waiting for my bottles. You heard me?
I'm still waiting on my coffee.
I talked to her. I'm going to the store Friday. She just started the release of the 4 ounces. I already look.
You can give me a 2 ounce.
Royalty takes time.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Amen.
Mm-hmm.
So,
amen. And speaking of royalty, taking time. I've known this young man since he was knee high to a grasshopper. Not really knee high to a grasshopper, but for sure he was a little dude. His brother was on campus. Brother came to Tougaloo, and I remember it was like, man, your little brother gonna always be with you. Next thing you know, his little brother went with him. His little brother went to Jackson State, man, made his own way. He definitely followed in the footsteps laid by their parent, by their mother. The brother is a all-star real estate agent, but not only that, he's a graduate of Jackson State University, also a member of Alpha Phi Alpha, so he is part of the D9 and the HBCU community. Look, and above all of that, along with that, the cherry on top, one of the sports that I've grown to love, this man is an international soccer referee. So, ladies and gentlemen, I need everybody in the comments to give it up for my man, Matthew Thompson. There you go.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Man, I appreciate you, Chuck.
Man.
Just again, sorry if y'all hear some background noise. I'm in the airport currently in Charlotte, trying to fly to Columbus, Ohio for an MLS game tomorrow. So,
that's dope. Now, all right, who's playing tomorrow? Give us the teams right quick. Who you reffing?
So you got Columbus Crew versus Inter Miami FC. So,
okay.
Yep. And actually, what's even doper is one of the players for Columbus Crew is actually a kid named Marcus Epps. He went to he's from Jackson. Actually, he played at CJSO. I mean, not Marcus Epps. No, not Marcus Epps. Sorry. Marcus Epps, your cousin. I'm sorry. He played with Marcus Epps. His name is Marlon Harrison. I messed it up.
Hey, Marlon Harrison. Did you plan this? Like your cousin?
Hey, no, I didn't. And listen, I'm trying to get Marcus to tune in.
He sent the script and clip notes over and say that.
I did that so I get you my boy Marcus a shout out. He's currently playing with Tulsa though.
Somebody's giving you a shout out right now, SGA president.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Oh shoot, I see your doctor training. Man, it was he was over student life when I was there at Jackson State. So
Get that. Yeah. Oh, we got everybody chiming in.
Trina Come on, there we go. Come on in. Come on in the comments.
Checking in. Shout out to all our people. Dr. Cheney.
Yeah. What's up, everybody?
Pierre Escart. We hadn't seen Pierre in a while. Look at Pierre coming in off of Twitch. All my Twitches. What's up? So look, Matthew, man, look, I appreciate you being here. We're excited. One of the reasons why, I'm excited, man. My youngest son is an avid soccer player. And one of the questions that I had for you, being that you've seen young people develop from, like you said, 2 years old all the way up until now, MLS. I believe that you have a vantage point of someone that could really give some tidbits to, like, let's say a dad that wants to make sure he's doing the right thing for his young soccer player. What are some things that you would suggest as it relates to getting Black kids exposed to soccer outside of Jackson, where we have organizations like CJSO?
Well, of course, that was gonna be my first thing. You said the word there was exposure, man. Like I'm real big on this thing about exposure now. Like even within like the Black community, is that we have not been exposed to different things. I mean, let's be honest. How many people think that a young Black boy would be refereeing international soccer games from the state of Mississippi? But the biggest thing is like getting them exposed, getting if they're playing soccer, like outside of just watching. We love our American football and stuff, but start watching like EPL with them, start seeing those different skills and those different talents. And like, just like, you see somebody who dunk on the basketball court when they're watching like English Premier League soccer, for those who don't know what EPL is, they'll see, somebody do a nutmeg or something like that. When they see that, then they're going to go outside and try to, imitate that. So that's one thing, is just exposing them to the sport, taking them out to these different games, seeing who are the different people in the sport, as well as showing them, I mean, honestly, what you can do and how you can go far in this sport. Probably like 2 or 3 years ago, it might have changed now. I remember the top 5 most paid professional athletes in the world, 3 of them were soccer players. Yeah. So, I mean, that's what people don't know. Like, it's more than just, in America. You got, Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo.
So another question I got, Matt, before you jump in, man, I wanted to get this in. How in the entire world did you get on the path?
Oh, that's my question.
See, we on the same page, man. How did you get on the path to becoming an international referee? Because you do more than referee MLS games, right?
Oh, well, I do MLS, I do USL. I have done a couple international teams. Like, honestly, the biggest game of my life was this past July. I did Manchester City versus FC Bayern Munich, 2 of the biggest clubs in the world. First game to ever be played in Lambeau Stadium with 80,000 fans. It was crazy. But honestly, I'm not even trying to flex. But
I mean, no, look, that's hey, Black child. Do you know you can be what you want to be if you try to be what you can be?
So, come on, get that Nas, baby, that Nas. Yeah. You can be whatever you want to be.
So started playing when I was, honestly, my older brother that you were talking about, he played, and from the time I could walk, that's all I would have wanted to do was play soccer. Played all the way up through high school. I started refereeing actually when I was 15, which a lot of people don't know. Like, as far as soccer referee, you can get your badge when you're 13 years old. I know this is for your son as well. Yeah. So when you're 13 years old in the United States, you can become a soccer referee. I was just doing it, riding my bike to my local club. I mean, I can go do a soccer game and make about if I did a tournament weekend as a kid, $250 is about $300.
Come on, man.
Wow.
Just refereeing soccer on the side. Yeah. Then, honestly, when I got in college, I was having too much fun to go get up and referee soccer on
at the
yeah, man. We ain't gonna talk about them days, but it was a good time. But then started back after college about 2013. I was in the grocery store, Kroger. The person who got me into it was a Black guy named Cecil Wright. did a lot of black referees in the state of Mississippi. He started CJSO as well. They're like, hey man, you want to start back refereeing? We need some high school referees. I said, all right, cool. So got back into it, fell in love with the game all over again. Went to a couple tournaments and camps and stuff, and I'm like, man, let's see how far I can go with this. And so from 2013 to about 2017, I was working on moving up the ranks between a regular referee. I became a state referee in 2015. Then 2018 was my first year. I got invited to go to national camp, become a national referee. And then in 2019 was when I got put into the pro development to become a professional referee. So
we want to make sure you don't miss your flight.
I got about 10 minutes to the boarding door close. So give me sorry about that.
You need to go now. You got 2 minutes to be on here.
So look,
you need to get to moving.
Yeah, man. We appreciate you for jumping on, man. And if you can, look, just shoot us some pictures so we can show the Nightcappers what it looks like from the inside of the MLS stadium, from the vantage point of a pro referee at the MLS level, man. I think that'll definitely be dope. And we're also gonna try to see if we can get CJ once we get him on here to see if we can give you a shout out from Black with No Chaser.
Absolutely.
I think that would be pretty dope for the world to know that, one of the questions they said is can anything good come from Galilee, or anything good come from Mississippi? Yeah, we got some stuff coming out of Mississippi, man. Great people coming from the SIP, and we're definitely proud of you, man. So anything you want to say before we get you on that plane?
Really quick, how can people follow you and support you? How can we find you?
Well, I mean, so I'm on social media. I have also a realtor as well. What Chuck was saying that's my day job. So my social media is actually more geared towards my real estate on a little bit, got to on that grind. So it's MST sold _real_estate. That's my IG. And then just on Facebook, Matthew S. Thompson. I mean, let's see. Yep, that's about it there. Ooh, shoot, let me see what we got going on here.
Go for it, man. I put your IG tag in the comments. We're going to invite everybody to follow you, and we'll be looking out for you, brother. We appreciate you for jumping on.
Have a safe flight.
I lose you. Hello?
No, we here.
We can hear you, man. Can you hear us? All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I got to run.
All right, please. Thank you. Nice meeting you.
And I'll come back on when I got more time. I'm sorry.
Absolutely. You're good, brother.
All right, we're gonna get Matthew out of there, and
we can get in there on the flight.
Yeah.
That's the worst place to be in an airport and can't go nowhere. What?
Charlotte?
What?
Look, I don't think Charlotte gonna be the same for a long time.
Man, what?
Just left Charlotte. Yeah.
Anyway.
All right.
Yeah. Next. See.
Oh, watch this.
Nice, Chuck. That's not nice, Chuck.
Watch this.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. Just know your day coming.
You gonna be at home this weekend?
Who?
You.
You
gonna be at home? Oh, okay.
Nope.
All right.
Nope. Thank you, Trina. Thank you. Hey, Valencia. Some
free
people
free TBC.
Huh?
What's up, V?
Hashtag free TBC.
Look.
He be hating, bro. Let me tell you something. He be hating.
Wow.
Hey, Mac. Look, let's get the mental health minute in, man. I know we have.
I can't fool with y'all. Look, this is the mental health minute right here, dealing with y'all,
bruh. See, when I find out how to jump in and get the.
Yeah. Hey, what Turk said? What? Why, Chuck? Why I ain't got no button over here? I want to be able to do what Chuck do.
What's
up, Lena?
Oh,
Lena, he in here trying to put me in jail, bro. He taking me off the screen and everything. We got that little night water on.
The mental health minute for tonight, which was for yesterday. I ain't for listening to y'all. Did you mute her?
Yeah.
Stop.
Wait, man, hey, Tonya started it.
Wait.
You know what? Both of y'all going to y'all room. Where my bill?
Man.
Yeah, damn it.
See, here's the problem.
That's the bullshit. Here it comes.
Here's the problem. When you are the light and all you can do is shine, no matter what kind of shade you throw, I'm still here.
There it is.
That's your mental health minute. Shine.
Wow. He's gonna play something. Ladies and gentlemen, in case y'all didn't know, DJ George Chuck is with the shits tonight. He is
Thank
with
you.
the shits. He woke up and chose violence. And he know Tonya go get his ass back when he least expected in person.
When he go low, I'm gonna let him continue to go low.
You gonna go lower.
Oh no.
Really? Let me do this mental health minute. In the middle of the topic for the mental health minute was talked about crisis. And as everybody know, in the world, from my grandmother-in-law to my daughter who don't pay attention to no news, everybody and their mama has reached out to us in Jackson to check and see how we're doing, seeing what was happening about our water crisis. And just so happened yesterday, my mental health minute was around crisis. And crisis said, let's start the week off, talk about techniques to help rebuild your strength. And you talk about doing crisis. And so things you want to remember. You want to make the most of what is real and stay here. You know, you want to make what's real, that you see what's in front of you. Gratitude. Be thankful. No matter what the situation is like, it could be a lot worse. So I always keep a mindset focused on gratitude. Try to be around as many positive people as possible. You know, you want to stay and keep that positive energy going, despite what the circumstances are like right in front of you. Kindness and compassion. You want to have kindness and compassion for others. Despite that we are dealing with water crisis here, we still find a way to make sure we are able to assist and help others that are in worse situations than ourselves. Right. I will also say, move your body. Don't just be complacent. Do something to burn that energy, burn that stress, find a way to relax in despite of whatever's happening. Be positive and focused. You know, your mental attitude need to be positive and focused on what you need to do, not being distracted by the situation itself. Laugh. Find something to laugh about. Laughter is a cure. Find something to kind of decompress and to make yourself feel better, even though you're in a stressful situation. And then the last thing I will always say, faith. Believe in yourself and a higher calling that things will get better. So we want to believe that and live that things will get better. And that's just for any crisis, but specifically talking to us in the Jackson metro area, that things will get better. We must continue to stay positive, continue to have gratitude, despite our personal circumstances and what's happening in our city, how things could be worse. And we are going to find ourselves some positive people, be around them, share that energy, find something to laugh and joke about, even if it's something, old memories, whatever we have to do. And then you focus on your plan on what you need to do to change your circumstances or to make the best of the circumstances that you are currently in. So that's my mental health minute, and it's focused on crisis.
Brother Mac, we appreciate you, man. We appreciate you. That's
Thank you, because I'm going through a crisis right now with Chuck.
Oh Lord.
Shout out to my sorors in the comment section who have my back.
Man, look, they done got the dove high. Look at this.
All day. Let's go. Hashtag.
Look at this.
Hashtag. You see my shirt say fly. We stay fly. We stay fly. Z5.
I'm fly too.
Let's go. Yeah, but you're that guy.
You see this? You see this? Hold on.
Hey man, you know, hey, wait over there. I got on my Tougaloo Sigma shirt. Got on my Tougaloo Sigma shirt. What they say on their arm?
Mother Eagle.
Big shout out to I Got It Made. I Got It Made. Check it out if you need your apparel.
The staff, not Chuck, because Chuck is on one tonight. On the Ferrilla though.
With the bring our next guest out, somebody.
Shout out to
Nah, Tonya gotta do her TBC music check-in.
Yeah.
TBC.
Why you trying to take
here
my
we go.
top?
No. But here on the Ferrilla, shout out to
Y'all
everybody
fighting.
who has been just very instrumental in keeping all beings, right, in the city of New Orleans lifted, motivated. But yeah, so I was just taking a moment to think about gratitude and being grateful with this week being a celebration, well, not celebration, but the anniversary of Hurricane Katrina and Ida, which is a heavy week. And now we're dealing with the water crisis in Jackson. We're going to continue to stay lifted. Music has always been instrumental in that. So find a song, listen to it. What's on my playlist right now? Y'all know, if you know Tonya and you've been following me, you know I love me some Gregory Porter. So Gregory Porter.
You love the GP done. You love the GP done.
Man, I love that man. Oh my God.
George Patterson.
He has a song. Well, not you. He has a song. Here's a song that I've been listening to called Faith and Love. It's a beautiful song. It has a heavy influence of Barry White, and along with his robust sound. So check him out. You know, it may not be your cup of tea, but everything you touch is gold. It's my number one go-to every day. The vibrations, the tone of his voice, and just the words to the song. So find you something that speaks to you. Find something that you don't listen to often. And as you listen to it, allow it to resonate on different areas, especially if you've been dealing with something heavy or preparing for some major things to take place in your life. Music is powerful. And yeah, find something to listen to and let it change your life.
Hey, I love it. Because you know me and the boys, we be listening to music every day.
Yeah.
You want to know what we listened to this morning?
What y'all listening to?
Take a wild guess. Take a wild guess.
Kendrick Lamar?
No. Like you way off. You way off.
No, I don't know.
ABCs by Patti LaBelle from Sesame Street.
No. It was Kenton Rogers and the Williams brothers.
Oh wow.
Hold on to God's unchanging hand.
Come on.
Hey.
Time is filled with swift transition.
Oh yeah.
You can't go wrong with that quartet music, boy.
Man, look. That Roots, that quartet, boy, that's straight 6 buttons on your suit.
I'm talking about all the way up.
Coattail hang to your knees.
Look, you can't even the necktie, you can just have a knot right there. You ain't seen nail part of the tie. It's just a knot right there.
That's that one that have that one handkerchief and they hold it. Yeah. They look around, right?
Uh-huh.
You know?
Everybody got the same suit.
Yeah. And then you get
uh-huh.
Yeah. Hi, Nikita. What's up? Look, my sorors are in this thing. Shout out to the ladies of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated.
Hey, shout out to the Q. PRS Cargo is in the comments. We've got, matter of fact, let me bring my back up. Let me give my dog some applause. Former SJ president, the man who started the hashtag that changed the world. Let's give it up for I was about to cuss after I just been talking about Jesus. But shout out to the Qs, especially the Tougaloo Qs, ladies and gentlemen. One of my neos, my first deuce dog ever in life, my friend CJ Lawrence, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up.
What's up? What's going on, y'all? Hey, man, y'all bringing my spirits up. That's a beautiful thing, man. I love the energy every time I come up in the building, man. Y'all are super dope. So yeah.
Chuck, you got him hyped. That joke ain't barked. That joke ain't barked in 3 years.
Yeah, man. You know, I had to practice on that bar just then, man, backstage. You know what I'm saying? Like,
can I get
I had to warm it up. Warm it up.
Big shout out, Dr. Marcus Channing. You know,
indeed.
It's Jenny in the 01.
Hey, everybody got on I Got It Made today. So
I got on Shay Anthony.
Okay.
Black artist, you know.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
That's very fly. I like that.
Let me switch my hat.
I got it made in my black with no chaser. I'm still waiting for my black with no chaser from somebody who said they were gonna get it to me like a year ago, but that's okay.
Girl,
okay.
Like you ain't got none.
Hold up, Popo. Don't go there.
Oh, y'all something else, man. Y'all something else.
That's what happened when you.
Hold on.
I don't try to find that. See, your catalog's supposed to be together, supposed to roll off your tongue, off your fingers like you already have.
Chuck, I think the Zeta's coming for you, Chuck.
I know you're gonna dig this.
Hey.
Look at the comments. The Zeta's coming for you, Chuck. Look at the comments.
I got some.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Zeta's you back. You better stop.
I brought this from back in the day, man. I don't know if it's gonna work. It's gonna work.
What?
Nah, we don't hear that. Oh.
Wait, what?
I'm gonna do that anyway. I'm for the black.
I don't even know if it's loud, but that junk been tripping me out for years now. So I was gonna do that anyway.
CJ, how you been?
I've been good. You know, it's a lot going on in the world, like you said.
Yeah.
That we're reflective of, but I'm grateful. I'm blessed, and I'm, you know, just like what Max said, finding happiness amidst, you know, everything that's going on right now. And so and things like what y'all are doing tonight make it easy to remain joyful.
Yeah.
You know, in the midst of all that's going on. I'm currently in Hattiesburg, and I'm usually back and forth between Hattiesburg and Jackson these days. But you know, my mind is with Jackson right now and the folks in Jackson, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
That's a special place to all of us. So
Very much so, man.
It's and big shout out to the folks that are in the Jackson area that are in the comments. When I tell you that it has been a lot that's happening, and then my battery might die on my computer. So if I go away, I'm coming back. But it's been a lot, man. You know, and we need God.
Oh man, he was just about to say something profound too. That's the cold part. You could tell he was lining it up. He was on the runway with it.
Yeah.
Hey.
I think, you know, like I don't know if I was on the wavelength of what he is, but it's so much that's happening, you know, amongst just the climate alone, right?
Yeah.
And then when it comes to the climate, it's almost but it is a domino effect,
Right.
because you have your climate issues happening around the world. You have your crime happening around the world. Like there's an uptick in crime. Mm-hmm. You have mental awareness, mental health is up, you know, when it comes to statistics of how many people are getting support versus how many aren't. Mm-hmm. Those numbers just don't make any sense with so many resources around the world that aren't being utilized effectively, mm-hmm. and also respectfully. So it's just so much. And we as Black people, man, mm-hmm. we are so powerful. Yeah. We are so powerful that it's scary, because we don't realize how powerful we are until something happens, or mm-hmm. until we have to, as Max say, get to those last 7 choices of finding. You're pulling your way up out of, you know, that
right.
muck,
of
right?
the mud, literally. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. Out of the mud, literally.
So now is the time for us to truly come together. Not in a, you know, not saying that. Well, no, we're the new revolution. It's time for us to make the change.
Mm-hmm. Indeed, Tonya. I mean, you hit spot on with regard to it. If you really look at how Black communities are situated around the country, you know, most of us, you know, we live in rural areas too, but most of us live in urban communities, mm-hmm. like Jackson, like New Orleans, like Flint, Michigan, and right. It's not a coincidence,
right,
that in each of these places we've had these type of crises occur in the way that you stated earlier with Katrina. Mm-hmm. These things were things that the people in power, a lot of times, and when I'm talking about the people in power, I'm talking about the real people in power. You know, local leaders can do so much. Mm-hmm. You know, your mayor can do so much. Your your city council people, you know, they're gonna make decisions and policy to help govern the city. But when it comes to, you know, we talking hundreds of millions of dollars and billions of dollars that are exchanging hands. That's gonna be at your federal and your state level.
Yeah.
And it's no coincidence that these are the places that have experienced these types of environmental emergency and crises at the times in which they have occurred. It's systemic, it's systematic, and we see the pattern that is taking place across each country. New Orleans is a majority black city.
Yep.
Jackson is the second blackest city in the country.
Yep.
Detroit is the blackest city in the country. Flint is one of the blackest cities in the country. All of them had black local leadership at the time in which these incidents occurred. It is not a coincidence that many of those states were also red states.
Yeah.
And have been perpetually red in how they've existed. And I've often found myself wondering and asking, how are you a conservative in Mississippi? Yeah. What are you trying to conserve in Mississippi?
Right.
Because to conserve means to hold on to, to hold on to what currently exists rather than to in the alternative progress, which is to move beyond that which has traditionally existed into a state of, moving forward. Mississippi has stood still for so long that we are now regressing. Interestingly enough, many of the state actors who are speaking out now have been aware of what has been happening in Jackson as far as the infrastructure is concerned for decades, not for years, not for a few months, but for decades. And when I say decades, I mean before we were born, decades.
Yeah.
50 plus years ago. Anna Wolf with Mississippi Today did a really great article on this in 2021. And I would advise people to, if you really want to kind of know and be familiar with how things originally started to go down and how racism is directly involved with it.
Who kicked the can down the road?
Yes. Who kicked the can? Chuck, this has really been Jackson's infrastructure has been deteriorating for 80 plus years. And I must state that I'm uniquely positioned as I had a position with the city of Jackson, the administration, under the first Mayor Lumumba's administration. At that time, I was the director of marketing for the city of Jackson. And so I'm not speaking to anything of which I'm unaware, very familiar with what I'm speaking to. And I'm familiar with the times when, the first Mayor Lumumba was attempting to meet with, I believe it was Governor Bryant at that time, and we know he was up to some things. Governor Bryant was up to some things, but Mayor Lumumba was trying to get things done. He was going to Washington, D.C. and meeting with the national officials for the state of Mississippi as well, senators, in order to try to secure funding even then for infrastructure. When he passed, he was raising the 1% sales referendum, which I was one of the leaders in running, and we were trying to raise a 1% sales tax for the purpose of securing infrastructure. The state government again made it difficult when it came to appointing the people who would sit on that committee for the infrastructure, because the state played a role in who would be appointed. They wouldn't just allow the mayor to appoint his board at that time. And so what we understand, if we really begin to pay attention, and it's a deep story, I'm willing to get as far into it as we can today. But if you're really paying attention, we understand that the state actors, a lot of times were failing to act. And it was because
inaction.
Quite frankly, Jackson is a very, very black, predominant. It's a majority black city with black folks, working class black folks, poor black folks, black folks that's trying and striving, but poverty and inequity play a direct result on a lot of what's occurring in Jackson. That's a result of neglect, and it's easy to pass it along to city officials. It's easy
to play blame,
optically, right? To make people believe that it's as simple as the city ain't doing their job.
But I mean, the actors who are not doing their part, they are acting. They're doing they're playing the role.
Right.
Yeah. But the role that they're supposed to be playing, that they're not. You get what I'm saying? So you're acting.
Right. Well, let's look at it like this. Let's look at the most recent example, which was the RAMP initiative, where the federal government gave the state of Mississippi $187 million.
Not the first time we didn't talk about that on Nightcap.
Right. So, and I think it was 30,000.
I'm on my podcast.
30,000 people that the state did give some of the funding to. They did send some of the funding back. Well, most of the funding back. You know, 30,000 people don't nearly put a dent in $187 million.
No, man.
But the state often intentionally acts in a manner that is about ensuring that oppressed people remain oppressed, and not in a position that allows them upward mobility or the peace of mind to move forward. Their justification for that, of course, was they said they wanted people to get back to work, but that Mississippi's economy was doing well. Now, so how can you say both of those things? How can those things both be true?
Exist at the same time,
right? Either you want people to work, right, or the economy is doing well. And if the economy is doing well, then why are you sending $180 million back instead of allowing people the opportunity to get back on their feet with these funds that have already been allocated? A lot of times they'll attempt to redirect those funds or repurpose those funds, but the reality is, we know, based on recent history and what's being uncovered, is that they can't be trusted with the funds. They can't be trusted to do with the funds what the funds are supposed to be done. They were supposed to pay poor people with welfare funds, and they built a damn volleyball court, a $5 million volleyball court. They gave money to millionaires for the purpose of doing these things, and so
that's a lot of volleyball,
right? So when we really look at this, Mississippi is doing that with all of this money, and it's a tough dance to dance when you are a local leader, leading a Black community, and you are having to seek and request and ask for the purse string. You know, when people who don't want to see Jackson succeed are pulling the purse strings. You had the same play in Detroit, right? They had intentional economic decay occurring. It's just like the stock market. You want to sell high, buy low, right? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna drive the market down. You're gonna make something as worthless as possible within that community. And when people can no longer withstand the brunt of the force that you are levying upon them, they have to leave, and you can literally buy it for 10 cents on the dollar.
I mean, that's what we went through down here. You know what I'm saying? That's why I pushed for the lower 9, because you have people who had never seen money, like, you know, $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 is a lot for someone who's never seen it all at one time on one check. So you are selling grandmama's house, you're selling mama's house, because you don't know. Some of us don't know how to persevere and also endure. You know what I'm saying? So that endurance, that's why you still have people down here in the lower 9, like my family and I, my neighbors, my uncles and aunts who live literally in the same block, who are preserving. Spy Boy Ricky, who's lived across the street, who's been here all his life, because we know the value of this land in the lower 9. And that's why it's so hard to sell us off, because we know our worth.
Right.
Yes.
The thing that we lack, and I'm a grad student at Tulane, and I've just been learning some, and man, been intrigued all week with readings of how music has played a major political role of how we have genres today, right? So we'll talk about that later. But I said I like to say the major key that we miss as Black people is education. We miss education.
And what I say is, it's really that institutional knowledge. It's the type of knowledge that you get through the learned process of having opportunity. But if when you get the opportunity to access and sit in the mayor's seat or in the council seat, and and somebody else hid the papers for how to do this work, successfully. And that's not to say we can't learn. I think we do learn, but I think when you are kind of walking up a muddy hill, which is what I kind of say this is akin to, you're going to have difficulty because there are people that are hiding the way to do it, and they're also making the road more complicated than it would be if it was somebody else doing it, because it's optically. My bad, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, because I'm listening with what we saying, and I keep thinking of something health related, and this is what I say to our people, right? My first ever radio time I was actually on a radio show was 90.1 with one of the ladies from Women for Progress, and she asked me to speak, and somebody asked, how can you reconcile with the other groups? And I said, how can you build a relationship with somebody you never had? So reconciliation is something that you are rebuilding. I said, we keep expecting a leopard to change their spots. My take is different. My take is, we as a people, we got to work and see things for what it really is. None of this is new. We can count through history how many times this has happened to our folk.
Yes.
My problem, I'm not expecting the leopard to change their spot. I'm not expecting the moccasin knife to bite you in the ass when you're in the water. My thing is us. The same way we say, well, my grandma had high blood pressure. My mama got high blood pressure. Yeah, I'm going to get it. What are you doing different to make sure that you don't get high blood pressure? Nothing.
Okay.
You just somebody there waiting on your numbers to change. So what I say for us is, we know what the enemy do. And I say the enemy expect, but some of us are the enemy. But we are not properly prepared,
right?
Because we have been trained through so many different things to be inclusive, and we get to arguing over lower level and other issues and going back and forth with each other. And while we arguing over a chair, the whole table go.
Man,
now think about this. Find your earliest Western. Your earliest Western. They have always told you what they did in plain sight. A farmer would have 1,000 acre. The railroad want to come through. They would try to buy his land. He wouldn't sell it. They would go buy the bank, buy the rights to his note that he borrowed the money from to farm his land, come through, hire some cowboys to cut the fence and poison the water. All his cattle die, all his crops dry up, and guess what happens?
Now the land,
go back to the bank, and who owns the bank?
Right, because he bankrupt now.
They've been doing this shit for 100 years. So we keep falling for it. We're not prepared for it.
You preaching right now, because that's exactly where I was trying to take it next. Is the one of my favorite movies is The Usual Suspects, and the line in there is, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing people that he didn't exist.
Correct.
In this particular instance, you have the same person who is starving the people dry, bleeding the people dry,
military strategy,
bringing the water to the promised land. And
military strategy,
right? Yes. So if I'm starving you, and you don't know where to look for who's starving you, all you know is your stomach hurts.
Right.
All you know is you can't. All you know right now is you can't bathe, you can't brush your teeth, you can't wash your face. Literally, you can't do the most basic of human functions that we have become accustomed to, because you no longer you don't have the number one. You don't have access to the number one most essential resource on earth right now. You don't have access to it. You are basically essentially a third world country, right? At this moment, you're the only thing you know is who they tell you is running the show.
Yeah.
And because that's who you look to when your stomach starts hurting, or when you got to boil water again today, you immediately are becoming upset with those individuals, not understanding that those individuals have to receive the funds that were given from the federal level to the state level from the state. So it's literally the funds are going at here, and then here, right? Yeah. But those funds that went from here to here are distributed throughout the state.
And you get the
pennies. Right. And so if you got somebody from Brandon, Mississippi, if you got somebody from Madison, Mississippi, if you got somebody from the surrounding areas of Jackson who have worked actively over the last decades to build around Jackson,
right,
to develop around Jackson, to utilize Jackson's numbers in order to appeal to developers and tell them, hey, come build here, build the highways that bypass Jackson so that you don't have to drive through Jackson for gas, for food, for lodging. If you have somebody doing that and you don't realize that that's the okie doke that's going on, and you don't realize that they didn't start starving you last week, yesterday when it started raining, when it flooded, they started starving you before you were born.
Yeah.
For your mom.
If you don't realize that, then when they bring you the water and you're thirsty, you're just thankful to get a drink.
So
you're thankful to get a drink.
Because we got some stuff we want to touch on that we're doing to help triage what's happening right now. We definitely want to get to that to let folks know so they can pass it information.
No, go ahead,
out.
do that. Go ahead, because I just had you all were talking.
So what I would say is, in the midst of, again, when we talk about crisis, and Dr. Cheney, I don't know if you're still listening, but I actually sent a link to him. Dr. Cheney will be partnering, B1 Healthcare will be partnering with Mississippi Move this Sunday from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. to do a voter registration drive, water drive, and we're going to try to have some hot food. And we're going to be at 501 West Caroline Road, directly across the street from Tulu College, from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m., giving out water, trying to get out some hot meals, and doing voter registration, because election have consequences and leadership matters. So we want to make sure that people are registered to vote and registered and go vote. There's never not a time to talk about the importance of the democracy and being able to go and vote and cast your vote for someone that represents you. So definitely, we are working. The community is working. The coalition is working, and we got a flyer where we are asking folks to help out for donations, for resources. Right. We have to, again, we've said this 1,000 times, but we get upset. I waste energy. I don't waste the energy on them. The issue is, what are we going to do for us? Absolutely. And that's what we are answering right now. And we are asking folks to push that. And that with Dr. Cheney. And that's somebody that called as soon as they heard it and say, hey, we're going to help. Because my take is, if you are not the person immediately affected, then what are you going to do to help somebody that is? When we have that mindset as a people, that we are our own solution, that there is no chariot, nobody with a cape, superhero complex is a real diagnosis too, right? The hero complex, where you create a scene to come and fix it to look like you the savior. The military have taken over more countries by destroying the economy than they did just by blowing up everything. They take away your way of survival and taking care of yourself. You blow up the village, and then you come and feed them rations, and they wonder why the people are not happy. We got to remember all this stuff. And as we see the long-term plan of what's happening, short-term, what are we going to do to take care of our people? Definitely. And so we want people to donate. Chuck, I don't know if Chuck, you got the graphic with the blue graphic.
Not this one. Not this one.
I shot 2 links over it, so it's in there.
And I sent something to you too. That's another one I just saw. The Mississippi Rapper Response.
Yes, it's a blue flyer with all of our information on it and shows what we're doing.
Can I tell them a little bit about that?
Yeah, go ahead. That's what I want you to dive into. CJ. Sure. I know you got on the history of it.
Yeah, man. My bad.
We trying to get this thing forward.
I'm talking with my friends. So, but yeah, let's move this thing forward. The Mississippi Rapid Response Team, which consists of Mississippi Move, People Advocacy Institute, the Poor People's Campaign, and a number of other really powerful local led organizations, are on the ground right now, and they are trying to raise $2 million, at least $2 million. We want to really blow that through the roof. But we're trying to raise $2 million. Those funds raised will be used to purchase water, to transport water to households, purchase reusable water containers, water filter storage space, essentials, and other items needed during what is expected to be at least a year without safe water. You can prefer, if you prefer to donate directly. You can also do that as well by going to rapid response at peoplesadvocacyinstitute.com. But you can come to Black with No Chaser. So we trying to get everybody who comes to Black with No Chaser. We want you to click for the Mississippi Water Crisis Fundraiser, and we want you to make a donation. Big or small, it don't matter. Anything will help. And if you need to go to directly to the actual link, there's a direct link to it as well. And it's through actblue.com. I don't know the actual link, but that's the link.
I got it.
That's the Black with No Chaser link. But the Act Blue link, you can go to that one directly if you having trouble with the Black with No Chaser one. But the Black one is pretty easy and straightforward. Please, y'all, if you make a small donation, pass it along to your friends, email it, text it to whoever, and help us out. That's a picture of Mac doing what, doing it for the community in that picture. So, like, we need y'all's help right now. People can't even brush their teeth. And, it's like I said, it's a predominantly Black community, and we gonna be lifting ourselves up right now. So that's all I had to say about that.
Well, we want to make sure, and here's things we talk about transparency and being able to just make it very plain. Brother Hollis used to always say, make it plain, and learning from community organizing, we were taught that you put everything out what in third grade letter, so I'm not trying to impress CJ because he's a lawyer by using certain terminology when I put out a PSA. I want someone that dropped out of school in the 4th grade to go work to be able to pick up this flyer and say, oh, so when you hear boil water notice, the breakdown of that is, do not use that water straight out the faucet to brush your teeth, to cook, to ingest at any times. Actually, when I read this closer, I got looking at more of this from the Department of Health. It actually said, don't give the water to your pets without boiling for 3 minutes at a high temperature to come to a rolling boil.
Rolling boil.
We need that
heater hot. Not
rolling boil.
There you go, Mac.
Rolling boil. So what I'm saying is this information, as organizations, nonprofits, churches, everybody, it might not be you. You might understand it. And we debate back, and I hate to say we debate back and forth about stuff on social media. But are you texting your friend that's not on social media? Are you telling this to your auntie or your grandmother or somebody that's not paying attention on social media? All this information is not for you. A lot of times things that you see, that information is not for you. That information for you to take and pass it on and give it to somebody else that does not have access to that information.
There you go.
Yeah.
And we say, man, I don't need to pay attention to that. I'm good. It don't apply to me. And we talked about before about doing an expungement workshop. Well, I'm good. I don't need no expungement. But you got a cousin that just got out of prison, did 15 years.
Right.
The information is not for you. The information is for your cousin that you need to give it to. So we want to make it plain. Do not ingest the water at all. When you hear boil water notice, meaning that if you're going to use this water, you must put it in a pot, put it on a stove, bring it to a rolling boil for at least 3 minutes before you do anything with it. But preferably, don't ingest it. Yeah. Use bottled water to cook, brush teeth, and to drink.
Yes.
And do not give it to your pets or use it in any form of fashion. Now, of course, we didn't know. Dog. We think a dog can drink out of. If a dog drink out of a pond and toilet, he should be all right.
Yeah.
Right? Could be. But hey, if you can avoid taking the chance, then do so. But we want to make this very, very plain because I dropped out some water today at the apartment senior complex, and the guy said, "Man, I've been brushing my teeth with it until I just heard about the boil water notice and still didn't know." He said, maintenance guy. He said, "I've been using it the whole time." Yeah. He never got the message. Mm-hmm. He never knew. Or you hear for so long, you just say, you know what? You just get a numb to it.
Mackie.
But it's
No, my bad. I was just saying you get on.
But that's something we talked about off camera that is very, very, very important, that people have been getting sick in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
To the point that healthcare officials have been saying plainly, do not ingest the water at all.
Yeah.
People have been using it. Well, I can't drink. Well, at least I can brush my teeth with it.
And please don't denote the fact that if you've been doing it and you haven't seen anything, that it's okay. It's not okay.
Right.
Like don't use it. First of all, it's okay to not be okay, people. It's okay to not know the answers. It's okay to just be in a situation where you say, I need help. Look, saying you need help is the best set of words that we could hear so we can help you. This is the time where we don't need, as you all said earlier, any superheroes. We just need transparency and truth. We need people who are going to help. I'm supposed to get on the road and come to Jackson Friday, but I'm going to make sure I have cases of water in my truck before I leave New Orleans. If I can help anyway, I will be making a donation as well to make sure that families have what they need. If I hear of any more distributions of water, I will let everyone know. I just want us as a Black people to release the Stockham's behavior of understanding that this is how we have to live. It's bigger than us.
Yeah.
We have the answers. Let's really, really come together, put our walls down of who has the best and who can do the best, and start doing what we need to do for us as we build each other up. And the time is now. Let's go.
For sure.
Well, look, one of the things I wanted to ask about y'all, and man, I mean, we talked about brushing teeth. We talk about boiling the water that we will, use for cooking and all of those things. But we ain't talk about bathing. And I mean, your skin is an organism.
It absorbs.
Right. So my thoughts go to, I know that there are shower heads that have filtration systems in them. Is that something that people should be investing in at this point? Is that something we should think about in terms of, those of us that per se might not live in Jackson? If we could say, well, look, let me go on Home Depot or Amazon and let me, send some shower heads to Mississippi Move so we can get. I know everybody trying to send pallets of water, and we need that. Yes.
Yeah.
But we also need some other storage systems, like water storage systems that folks can begin to employ in their in their homes. But also we need to think about the water that we're gonna put on our body that we have to bathe. So that I don't know if that's something that we should be doing.
We should.
It should be something that we should start thinking about in terms of
their fruit. Shout out to my boy Manny with Fruit Orleans here in New Orleans. He has alkalinic shower heads in his store that he's always encouraging everyone to get it because of you bringing that up. We're on the same wavelength when it comes to your body. This is the only instrument body that we have to use. Once if we don't take care of this.
Tell us more about that.
So so what Manny has done is he's created a full alkalinic restaurant store for all of your alkalinic needs here in New Orleans. And I can chat with him and see if I can get some shower heads donated. He also has the faucets because of him educating us to understand our pH balance of how we need to take care of our bodies, of what we ingest also has to come out. And it's amazing that you brought that up, Chuck, because I had a really bad allergic reaction on Friday at school in the auditorium. So there's mildew happening in the school. And it caused me to have a swollen throat. I had like ears were messed up. I had to get a shot Saturday. So now the shot that I had to get of steroids is trying to come out my body. So I called my esthetician because I broke out around my chest. Like, you have an over-induced amount of histamine within your body, which you take the antihistamine to get out of your body. So now I'm ingesting something else to get something else out. So, and that's another reason I'm doing this cleanse, to get all of it out, because every day you take something within your body, it has to come out. Water, our body is like 80% water, something like that. So the water that we take in, we're also releasing that water, whether we sleep, we sweat, you use the bathroom, Either way, it comes out. So whatever you put in your skin is going to come out. Do not shower with the water in Jackson. It's the same thing as ingesting it because it's still going to come out. It could cause you to have different breakouts within your skin. With this monkeypox series of things happening, we just want to be safe. And if there's somebody out there who also has a greater resource of shower heads, just make sure you've already changed your filters. Everything you do for your mental well-being, or if you change it on your truck or your car, change it in your house.
Come on.
Can you give Chuck the website so he can pull it up so we can
absolutely
let folks see it?
Say it again.
Fruit, F-R-O-O-T, Orleans.
Okay.
And I'm about to text Manny right now and see if he has.
See the IG.
Yeah, Fruit Orleans IG.
The
FR.
Yeah, I got you. I'm about to.
So we had a coalition call this morning. We had the Gulf South Coalition. And we have a Hispanic community, and they had representation. They have over 300 households. We not only have Jackson issue, we have folks that were flooded prior to the Jackson issue in Camden, Carthage, where a lot of the Hispanic population is, and some of them live over there in a trailer park off by the reservoir. A lot of them, they 2 families lost their house completely, but they need food, they need stuff. Stuff was damaged. So we have a lot of things that are happening, and a lot of people that are affected. There are people that need other items. They need some things. We always need hygiene products. You always need cleaning supplies. You always need sanitizer. You always need those type of things. But definitely stuff to be able to utilize the water that you have, because right now we experience a lot of people are losing water pressure. So it's one thing of having dirty water to use, but some people are losing that. They don't have. All the schools in the city of Jackson were virtual today, from JPS to Millsaps to Belhaven to Jackson State. And they don't even have dirty water to bathe in. They got to go find somewhere else to go do that. So all the schools were virtual. It's a serious situation, and we asking people. Hopefully, CJ, we can get this thing spread out through Black with No Chaser and help folks around the country understand that we are dealing with a lot right now, and so we need as much as we can, because there's people that need stuff. They need. I got text messages from people that need food. Yeah. People that need hygiene products. People need items, and I think something like this, even if, hey, you ain't got to give the money to us. If you want to buy 1,000 shower heads and we want to donate it to folks in the community so they can utilize this filtration system so they can take a shower, then let's do that. But we need those type of things, because we've been taking a shower in the hottest water we can. What other options do you have besides boiling it? And taking, as old folks say, taking a cowboy bath, a cowboy whatever the hell it is. We telling you what you're doing. Yeah. You don't have a lot of options. Yeah. So you making the best option out of what you have, and that goes back to saying you pray for the best, prepare for the worst. Yeah. And so we are telling folks, donate, come help, assist. Yes, we got the government has failed us. Some people debate on which government it was, but guess what? No matter which government that failed us, we are still in the same damn position. Yeah. So what are we going to do about the situation?
What are we gonna do for our community?
Triage now, put together an immediate plan, short-term goal, and then we figure out who's the cause and how we create accountability. But right now, oh yeah, listen. Moneybag Joe, Sleepy Joe, Crazy Joe, whatever you want to call Joe, he done figured it out and find out what we're going on down here in the city of Jackson. Yeah, well, listen, I'm just telling you.
Hey, hold on, dog.
What?
Hold on, dog. Hold up. I know this is a very serious situation. I'm not making light of it.
But
I ain't heard Moneybag Joe.
Oh yeah, they was gonna be calling him Moneybag Joe to say that because he was giving out money and checks and about to forgive a student loan. They called the man Moneybag Joe. I'm telling you, listen, he got a ton of names. The thing we saying is, I don't give what they call him. They can call him Uncle Joe. I don't give a damn. We just need the resources and everybody to be in a line, to be on the same page, to do what's best for the people that are being affected.
Let it
That's
come.
all we need. Hey man, they can call it everything. But
don't be afraid to ask, man. Closed mouth don't get fed.
hey, ask for $1 million. Don't let me and Chuck ask for. We're gonna ask for $1 million, whether we
If
get it or
you
not.
ask for
Goddamn,
a
we're gonna
million, I'm
ask for it.
asking for $1 billion. Like I'm a believe
You
big.
go ahead.
Oh,
Hey.
like,
Go ahead. We're gonna ask for everything because we need it. We need it. 2 weeks ago, and I'm not going to even put the folks out there to help. I've been asking folks for some funding because we need to deal with this water crisis, and we want to be prepared. And they spent more time worried about how my stuff was formatted. And to this day, you know, I just
like that.
ticket shit like that. That just like so, just fuck the people out there. See, I did good. I'm almost finished. So just fuck the people that ain't got no water to drink and wash their ass. You just don't have this in the right format.
Yeah.
So now we done made MSNBC and President Biden is talking about it. Maybe you will see that this is the urgency versus trying to figure out if I put the right shit in the right place, that you will get some resources to us so we can be able to take water to these elderly folks that are in their houses and can't get out.
Yeah.
So, hey.
Yeah.
But we're going to keep working, man. We're going to keep working. Chuck, did you have the flyer to let folks know where we're going to be and the link? And
the blue flyer that I just showed a few minutes ago, or
yeah, we're gonna put can we drop that on the pages for Black Widow Chaser? And did you already drop it, CJ?
I'm not sure. I think we dropped. I don't know if we dropped a flyer. We dropped a link, but we can drop the flyer too. Like whatever we need to drop. Y'all be on the lookout for it. Flyer. We'll do whatever we need to do. Oh yeah, I saw that one shared, but I don't think it's on the page yet.
All right, we'll get it up there. But for everybody that if you have family members in Jackson, we've got the Mississippi Rapid Response Coalition. Mississippi Move is a part of this coalition, a huge part of it. People's Advocacy Institute, along with a number of other organizations.
Poor People's Campaign,
and all of this is being done.
One Voice,
One Voice Mississippi being done in conjunction with the city of Jackson. So 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, you got South Jackson locations, West Jackson locations, and North Jackson locations. And then 11 a.m. on Saturdays, you can see these locations there. 1 p.m. on Sundays. Now, this Sunday, Mississippi Move will be at 501 West County Line Road. So if you know where Tougaloo College is, if you know where the post office is in Tougaloo, Mississippi, you'll be able to find the water distribution that will be facilitated by Mississippi Move. But prior to then, between Monday and Friday at 5 p.m., you've got Sykes Community Center, the Oak Forest Community Center. We got Westland Plaza parking lot. We've got the IAJE Community Center on Fortification, Grove Park, Northtown Pharmacy on Old Canton Road, Grove Park, and Sykes Community Center again on Saturday. So we got opportunities. We got the water that is en route to a number of these places. A lot of deliveries have already been made. We've been storing the water in safe locations. We're going to get it out to all of the communities that need it, but the water that we have is not enough.
Right.
This is something that we're going to be dealing with for quite a while, and we definitely need to make sure that everybody understands that we need to raise a ton of money.
Yeah.
A ton of money.
And can I just say really quick, be careful with storing the water. Make sure your water is not stored in your cars with the temperature being warm outside. We want to make sure
that on the concrete.
On the concrete, you want to make sure it's in a cool space. Right. So dealing with, all of the plastic and other chemicals and things of that nature. So make sure that when we are given this water, it's something that you would drink yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
So care for it like that.
Definitely. Man, look, I know it's people that like I posted about the fundraiser on our Instagram page, and a lot of people have been positive about the response. Some have asked about, well, isn't this what taxes are for and things like that? But the reality is like, yo,
what?
I mean, like,
I got
listen, that was the whole purpose of us going into the history of what's happening here is so that people understand, like, yes, the funds are supposed to be going to support communities, but a lot of times when you're dealing with politics versus just people putting people first,
right?
Particularly in a state like Mississippi, like we can go down the list of the ways in which Mississippi cuts off its nose to spite its face politically. And I know we don't have time to do that tonight, but just understand that there's a reason that Black folks are trying to do this for themselves.
Hello.
Same way as in Katrina, when Kanye said George Bush don't care about Black people.
Yep.
The same way that we saw the folks in Flint and still see the folks in Flint,
right,
trying to get it on their own, and the little girl saying what she said.
Yeah.
There is not a coincidence that this is happening in New Orleans, that is happening in Flint, that is happening in Jackson. Y'all, they all look the same. If you went to all of these places, we might talk a little different. We might have a little, we might season our food slightly differently. But the reality is that from place to place to place, each of these places look like us.
Yeah.
And so when you start talking about taxes and start talking about who's pulling the strings, you have to understand that there's a reason that those communities specifically are the ones that are getting neglected. And they ain't neglected Ann Arbor. Ann Arbor ain't got this problem in Michigan. Madison right down the street, it don't have this problem.
Right.
Brandon is a surrounding area. It don't have this problem. And so my bad. Go ahead.
No. The history was, truth be told, the original mayor made a post to be very clear that they have 8 underground wells which they get their water from, and they do not pull their water from the reservoir like the city of Jackson. So to give the history of the city of Jackson was ran by other folks, white folks, years, who made the decision that that's how we're going to get our water source. We do have wells in the city of Jackson, but the thing about it is, if it's not being upgraded and maintained with the funds you need, then even prime example, say the new governor, it was a new governor, a new mayor, right? And I mean, or the governor, the current governor and the current mayor were fan favorites. Everybody liked them. They got along. They hung out together. They were going to do what's right for the people as a whole. They still would not have been able to stop a lot of this, because this has been the snowball has been rolling down the hill for so long. And if you didn't have several $1 billion and the labor to go in there and change it,
right,
you still would be dealing with a lot of this. This is something that would have had to been addressed several years ago.
CJ, Mac, y'all probably know this off the top of your head. What is the exact number and the timeline of what it would take for a complete overhaul of the water?
Oh man, you talking about billions. It's definitely billions.
That's the point. Here's the thing. How much money is allocated from the state of Mississippi's budget to other things? It's not that we don't have the money.
If I remember correctly, I believe like the prison budget, because when we were doing the I think the prison budget is
initially 42.
90 to like $90 million, $100 million. Like it's a ridiculous number.
Appropriated fund.
Let me look up the prison fund.
Yeah. So it's a thing about having, well, we've been talking about this for the longest. Jackson has its largest tax base, but majority of the money is utilized to do other stuff for him, creating other businesses or other stuff that's not in the Jackson area. The overall purpose is, yes, buy low, sell high. But understanding that we all have to create levels of accountability for ourselves and all our elected officials, all of them, regardless if they look like us or not.
Right.
We pay the taxes because nobody asked me, was it okay to give $20 billion to Ukraine? I don't know if they asked y'all, but they didn't ask me, because I would say, can Jackson have $1 billion while you giving away $20 billion to some folks? I ain't never met a Ukrainian, but I mean, I'm just saying, I ain't got nothing against Ukraine, but I ain't never met a Ukrainian. Hell, they don't live in my neighborhood, but
I was an exchange student in Ukraine. Interestingly,
see, didn't nobody ask you that? See, goddamn, we making a point.
I get your point, though, dog.
Shit. Well, ain't nobody from Ukraine sending us no goddamn water. So let me say that. So we didn't nobody ask us permission. So those are our tax dollars. And sometimes, again, we beat up and we tackle what we see because it's right in front of us. They did that in one swoop. $20 billion. Bam. And now back to the student loans, back to the infrastructure, back to the water, back to the healthcare. Yeah, we don't have that in the budget.
We ain't got that in the budget, man.
Shit, they don't have enough to pay teachers. Shit.
Yeah,
what?
So
that's real.
So when I say for us, we have to.
No, I'm just saying. I'm driving down the street seeing Ukraine flags, but we had to fight tooth and nail to get a good looking Mississippi flag. Now y'all flying Ukraine flags.
Hey. One thing that's in common.
Y'all call yourself Christian.
They are.
But right. but now y'all
they are.
But now y'all talking about the revenge tour with Donald 45.
Yeah, man. Listen, oh Lord, Voldemort.
Hey.
What time is it? 8:20. I'll be 10:20. Yeah, because we finna go down a whole rabbit hole and how this structure and education system and how things are put in place to program us not to see the devil when the devil is coming to you. Right.
Let me ask you this, Matt. Why is it that when we begin to talk about those types of things, when we start to talk about the systems, why is it that a lot of people get disinterested, or maybe not disinterested is the right word, but they don't want they don't hear that part because when you start listening to that part, right? It's like you don't want to hear that part.
It's boring. People don't see. We like entertainment over education. Yeah, that's why a comedian does not get their just due. A comedian can take a serious topic and subject and add some humor to it, and you will digest it with no problem.
Yep.
A scientist or whoever may stand up there and break everything down to you.
Yeah.
And you look like, you listen and you stop and you start to wonder. But if I can keep you
Max said put the pill in the pudding, basically. We gotta put the medicine in
well, something. Tupac told you that you gotta say motherfuckers every now and then so ignorant folks can hear you.
Yeah.
You know, so what I'm saying is you have to have a certain interest in stuff to read it and pay attention to it because that's what the thing that you're in. But you have folks that have other gifts and things like that, but it's important information they need to know. So you got to figure out a way to reach them. You know, people don't want to watch the news because it's too much bad. I'm like, it's not the news is not a TV show. It's not supposed to entertain you. It's supposed to inform you. And then you also got to decipher when you watch the news what's true and what's not. But you still need to know the information.
They also don't like to face accountability. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody has to be accountable. You know, and no matter what it is, somebody has to take accountability. So the best way for me to not even take accountability is to become disinterested and go, elsewhere. And so I say that because I see it in school when it comes to the teachers, some teachers I've worked with or work with, and I watch you tell a student to be accountable and get their work done, but you haven't done your lesson plan to be able to teach a student how to do what you're telling them to do.
Oh, okay.
But yet when the students start to act out, you want to write them up and say they're the problem. But when I step in to advocate for the kid, I'm the villain. No, what you're not going to do is use this child to constantly get a check when you're not doing your job or the bare minimum. And then this kid, when they go to take the state testing, which but bullshit anyway, you're taking this test just to make sure you're getting the tax dollars in the school system. And this child can barely spell their name. But you call yourself an educator. Nah, babe, you're just here getting a check. So somebody has to take accountability.
And so people always say people are knowledgeable, but when you understand that brings about a change. Now you have no excuse not to do something. So again, versus going back and forth with folks and blaming who started what, let's give the facts of what people need to know about not drinking the water, why they should not drink the water. What are we going to do in this process? Yes, the National Guard is here. The National Guard is getting water out. Folks are bring tankers out. But so either we're going to put a coalition of folks to get together to go get the water and take it to the folks that can't get out. We still got to work in the midst of.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like some of y'all might be able to attest to this. It's just like going to the club and you get into a fight, and you and your friends get into a fight. You worry about who started the goddamn fight once y'all get out.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's,
I don't know if
real.
anybody on this live can actually attest to any type of experience like that.
I thought of a few.
But you worry about who started the fight. After
Where he go? Where he go? Where he go? Chuck, where you at?
So yeah.
No lie.
Yeah. So you worry about who started the fight after y'all get out of it. Right. But right now the goal is to make sure we get out of it.
Yeah.
That's what all matters.
That's
all right.
That's good. That's good.
Oh Lord.
Ew.
It's 10:24, Chuck. And we need listen, one of Jay's favorite lines from Set It Off. We need the money. And so, we need the money. We need the money.
Where the water reside.
Where the water reside.
Boy. We definitely need to get where the water reside, baby. Y'all send some water to the Jackson, man.
5 bottles of Aspira Pure water.
Yeah.
While you're at it. We could really use that.
Send an Aspire Pure to the Jacktown. Aspire Pure, refreshing taste, keeping it simple as alkaline water, man. One of the best things you can put in your body. We'll see y'all here next week. Nightcap Knowledge. We're doing it again. We got Sonny Patterson, hopefully, let y'all know very soon. And yeah. Peace.